What's up YouTube? Capital G here. First off, Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Second off, Konami just revealed a ton of new cards from Eternity Code. They didn't take the holiday off, so I guess I'm not either. And surprisingly, there's going to be new Jack Atlas and also Shark cards in this set. That is, I don't know, it seems a little strange to me. I've said before that Eternity Code is starting to feel more like a kickoff or kind of like a start of Master Rule 5 than the end of the Vrains era. There are not a lot of Link monsters in this set. It seems like they're kind of focusing already on Fusion, Synchro, and XC, those mechanics. But we're going to check out the Shark cards in this video. I'll talk about the Jack Atlas stuff tomorrow. Surprisingly, and I just didn't see this coming, these Reggie cards are actually pretty damn legitimate, especially going into Master Rule 5. Anyways, let's start off by talking about Cutter Shark, which I believe is the best card of this batch. Cutter Shark is a water fish monster. It's level 4, 1600 attack, 500 defense. You get a hard once per turn on your first effect. That first effect says you can target one water monster you control that has a level, special summon one fish monster with the same level but a different name from your deck, but for the rest of the turn, it cannot activate its effects. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except XC monsters. Second effect, this card can be treated as a level 3 or level 5 monster when it is XC summoned for a water monster. Okay. This card is absolutely insane and it is so impressive. The number one thing that you need to understand about this card is that it can target itself. So essentially, you can normal summon your Cutter Shark, it can target itself, and then you can summon a level 4 fish monster from your deck. This means what in Master Rule 5? Oh wait, it means you can go into Bahamut Shark and then you can get a Toadally Awesome for free, and that's already a +1 on face value, but obviously, during your opponent's standby phase, you could potentially summon like a Swap Frog or a Dupe Frog from your deck that will give you another +1, and you get negation as well. Your negation not only kind of floats because Totally Awesome gets stuff back from your graveyard, but it can snatch steal opponent's cards and put those on the field. And Master Rule 5, this card's fucking bonkers. And by the way, we're about to talk about another level 4 fish because, of course, they gave us 2 level 4s. That would make sense for them to work with each other, but this card's insane. It's a 1-card Bahamut Shark Totally Awesome, and that's going to be an incredibly strong play in Master Rule 5. Like, this is insane in my opinion. Cutter Shark's partner in crime is Lantern Shark. This is also a water fish monster that's level 4, 1500 attack and 900 defense. Your first effect is also a hard once per turn. If this card is normal or special summon, you can special summon one level 3, 4, or 5 water monster from your hand in defense position, except another copy of Lantern Shark. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn, except XC monsters. Second effect, this card can be treated as a level 3 or 5 when it is used for the XC summon of a water monster. So despite the fact that these sharks are both level 4s, they can actually be used for the XC summons of rank 3 and rank 5 monsters, which obviously is good. Options are always good in Yu-Gi-Oh! And versatility is always going to be a positive. This card is essentially kind of like a 10 goldfish type deal. You normal summon it. It can summon Cutter Shark from your hand if you want to get both of those guys on field. Also, you could even maybe go for just an outright Bahamut Shark Toad Turbo deck, and you can possibly just kind of play this engine, maybe play things like 10 goldfish. I've already heard about like paleo players talking about using this as an engine because these are such strong normal summons. Honestly, the fact that both of these cards set up for Bahamut Shark fairly easily is just really good because I already explained that previously. Like, Bahamut Shark Totally Awesome is just going to be such a strong play in Master Rule 5. This card lets you unload your hand so that if you didn't hard draw your Cutter Shark, your superpower play, then you can obviously still be able to get to that Bahamut Shark. It's just going to take one more additional monster. Still definitely like a really solid card, and you're going to play these 2 cards in tandem because Cutter Shark summons Lantern Shark from the deck. Anyways, of course, Shark has a new XC monster because, I mean, it wouldn't be Reggie unless he was pumping out those XC monsters. This is VALLANT Shark Lancer. It's a water beast warrior monster. I don't know why it's a beast warrior monster. That is by far the strangest thing about all these cards, is that this is a beast warrior and not a fish or an aqua or something like that. Anyways, it's an XC, of course. It's rank 5, which those two monsters can both be used for, rank 5, so I think it won't be that difficult to summon. 2500 attack, 1600 defense. It is actually generic. It just requires 2 level 5 monsters, and your first and second effects are both hard once per turn. First effect, you can target one monster your opponent controls, detach one material from a monster you control, and if you do, destroy that target. This is a quick effect if you control another Water Xyz monster. Second effect, if another Water Xyz monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect while this monster is in a monster zone, you can choose one spell card from your deck, place it on top of your deck. So this is a fairly solid Xyz monster in my opinion. Number one, even though it is a rank 5, it's fairly easy to go into because, as we said before, the two shark monsters can both be used as Xyz fodder for rank 5, so it's not going to be terribly difficult to drop. Secondly, it does have some simple monster removal. Just detach a material, pop a monster on your opponent's side of the field. Also, really interesting, you can use other Xyz monsters on the field to activate that effect, or you can detach, I should say, from other Xyz monsters, so that's pretty nice. I also love the fact that if you have another Water Xyz on the field, then basically this becomes a Trident and you can just pop as a quick effect, which is also pretty awesome. And if another one of your, like Xyz monsters or Water Xyz monsters happens to die and goes to the graveyard while this card is face up on the field, then you can actually do something spicy. You can stack rank up the 7th one on top of your deck. I know you can stack other cards, but I'm pretty sure that's what Konami wants you to put on top of your deck. Rank up the 7th one is such a powerful card. Usually when you hard draw it and you activate its effect, it's very difficult to lose because you get to summon one of your Chaos Xyz monsters from your extra deck. That wasn't really all that good in Master Rule 4 because if you had another monster, you couldn't resolve it if your main monster zone was clogged. But now that we're going back to the old ways, it's going to be so much stronger. This is a solid card. I don't think you'll need multiple copies of it. I would probably just kind of play like one copy. I think that would be fine. But yeah, this is definitely a solid card. Anyways, let's look at his new spell. This is Air Torpedo. It's a normal spell that is a hard once per turn on the first and second effect. The first effect says target one Water Xyz monster you control, detach one material from it, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the number of cards in your hand times 400. And if you do that, that monster gains attack equal to that amount of damage this effect dealt. Second effect, you can banish this card and one Water Xyz monster from your graveyard. That's a cost. Draw 2 cards. Okay, so I'll be honest with you. I generally do not like cards like this. I don't like taking neg-1s for burn damage. I'm also not a very big fan of taking neg-1s just to gain like attack value. I feel like that's okay, getting attack value for neg-1 if you're playing like a fusion OTK deck like Lunalights or Fluffles, because they can just kill you in one turn and advance doesn't matter. And obviously burn damage is better with the new time rules, but just as a rule of thumb, I don't like taking neg-1s for a little more damage. I feel like it's not usually worth it. However, Konami gave you burn damage and attack buffs in one effect, and I was like, okay, well, if you're gonna give me both of them in one package, like, I think I might be able to work with you. But then what really shut me up was the Pot of Greed effect from the graveyard. Like, I saw that and I was like, holy shit, this card is absolutely bonkers, because now not only am I getting burn damage and I'm getting some more attack value, I'm also getting to draw 2 cards, and they didn't even put one of those stupid restrictions on it like, this card can't be activated the turn that it's sent to the grave. Like, there's no restrictions on the Pot of Greed effect. It's simple. Like, if you have a Water Xyz monster in your graveyard, you just get to banish it, banish this card, draw 2. Honestly, you might not even need to activate this card. I'd have no problem discarding this for like a Twin Twister and just using that Pot of Greed effect. Like, I think that this card is actually pretty nuts. It looked like a card that was probably going to be a bad anime card, and Konami really saved it with that Pot of Greed value effect. Last up is our Revival Trap card. This is Xyz Revive Splash. It is a trap card that has a hard once per turn on both of the effects. The first effect says target one rank 4 or lower Xyz monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and if you do, its attributes become water. Second effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Water Sea monster you control. Special summon one Water Sea monster that is one rank higher from your extra deck by using that target you control as Sea material. It's treated as an Sea summon. Also, you transfer the materials. So basically, it just kind of lets you rank up. Okay, so this is basically Call of the Haunted for Sea monsters, but it does bring them back as water monsters, which does kind of have synergy with Valiant Shark Lancer because he progressively gets stronger as there are more water Sea monsters on the field. This card was so close to being insane for a deck like Paleo Frogs because not only is it a trap card, that's a normal trap, that would actually mean that it would work with Trap Trick and it would trigger the Paleo monsters in the graveyard. But if we're now going to be able to summon Bahamut Shark Totally Awesome for one card and I could negate something with Toad and then bring back my Toad from the graveyard, that would have been insane. That would have been like 2 easy negations, but I don't think that that's going to be possible. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Bahamut Shark does not properly summon the Totally Awesome, so I don't believe that you can actually Monster Reborn it. I think it's very similar to like Starlight Road with the Stardust Dragons. So if you can make Totally Awesome, that's kind of cool, but I think most people are just going to cheat around actually inherently summoning it. I think everybody's just going to play Bahamut Shark for it. I mean, the rank up effect of this card is kind of nice. If you have a Bahamut Shark that's kind of been used up, being able to rank it up into some of those spicy rank 5s, like you can summon your Valiant or you can summon the Chaos 101, which is the cover card of Legacy of the Valiant. That guy is still actually pretty decent. It can suck up one of your opponent's special summon monsters for free, but I'm not sure if it's going to be worth it without the Totally Awesome Reborn. I feel like that was really the main sticking point of this card, and I don't think you're going to be able to do that. But overall, pretty good support for Shark. I was thoroughly impressed. I didn't expect much. I thought the cards were going to be bad, and they actually really impressed me. So whatever you guys think of this support, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not.